You heard where he going, but listen to what he says about the Supreme Court.
Is that the immigration policies and civil rights laws in this country have been misused and abused, and the primary perpetrator of that has been the United States.
I'm sorry, I had to cut it off again. Pay attention to that and pay attention to what he says about the Supreme Court and the authority that Congress gave them and what authority they have been taking. Pay attention because I'm going to expound on that.
Is that the immigration policies and civil rights laws in this country have been misused and abused, and the primary perpetrator of that has been the United States Supreme Court. And here's what I'm saying about the United States Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court is a guardian of racism in this country. Their primary responsibility, all the way back since they were appointed in 1803, was to be able to misuse and guard and maintain slavery and the subordination of black folk in the country. And that is in violation of the 13th and 14th Amendment. The United States Supreme Court has no right to overrule anything pertaining to black folk in terms of rights, obligations, privileges, and reparations. They have no rights. Their rights are restricted to being in ambassadorial appointments and relieving people who have violated their oath of office in the federal government in a federal job or in a lower case ruling. That's it. And so black folk need to understand and sort of reverting back and saying we're reclaiming our rights and privileges and recognition in the 13th and 14th Amendment and the civil rights laws. That's our laws, nobody else's. And cease and desist allowing anybody to come in this country saying that they have a right to the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment and the civil rights laws. Those civil rights laws have been corrupted. They were corrupted all through history. Those civil rights laws have been corrupted. They were corrupted all through history. They were corrupted in the 1960s. They were corrupted in the 1960s. They were corrupted in the 1960s when black folk again let everybody come in and proclaim them to be, say we're entitled to, we got 14th Amendment rights. We got rights to this and that. You don't. If you're not black, you had no rights.
You hear that? He telling you they were corrupted, and he told you where they was corrupted at. Your rights as black Americans, descendants of slaves, was corrupted in 1960s. He's referring to 1965. People coming in the country and claiming your right that you receive under 1865. That is the first Civil Rights Act. 1965 is the second. 1865, first Civil Rights Act that began the Reconstruction period. Reconstruction of what? Reconstruction of America. Listen to me now. And then he told you that the guardian of slavery and the protector of the slave institution is the Supreme Court. And he told you they did not have rights to rule on anything having to do with black people. And the 13th, 14th Amendment, which is classified as the second Constitution exclusively for you, black American, key black American, and the descendants of slaves. But Congress, not Congress, but the Supreme Court took on extrajudicial authority that was not given to them when they were created by Congress. And this can be found in the Marbury versus Madison case, was the first case where the Supreme Court chief judge made a ruling on a certain law, I forgot the law, being unconstitutional. That was the first time. Congress knew that they were not supposed to do it, but no one challenged it.